Hey guys, Jesse here. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I really didn't feel like filming a video. It's just such a beautiful day out today in Winnipeg. It's 27 degrees. It's summer now. But now I'm bored and I want something to do, so here we are. So today will be part 2 of my self-published books, where I'm kind of telling you guys the books I self-publish and what they're about. This is part 2. Part 1, I showed you guys the first 2 books in my first book series. Book 1 and Book 2, A World Divided, Blazing City, and A World Divided, Frostbite Village. Now, this video, part 2, will be dedicated to my second book series, which is a trilogy. I self-published the first 2. I've yet to finish the third book. The first book is called Fallen Guardin. I self-published it in October of 2015. The same time that I self-published my other book, A World Divided, Blazing City. So I started writing this book in 2013. I was in college for graphic design, and on the side I was writing this book. It didn't take me long. It took me about 6 months. And then for the next couple years, I kind of edited the story. Again, kind of what I experienced with my other book series. The story kept changing and growing bigger and getting better. I kept growing as a writer. The story itself just kept morphing into something better than what it originally was. So it took a couple years to kind of get it ready. So this is the final product. It's about angels. It's pretty dark. It's about suicide. It's about this man named Reese Featherway. He's in his early 20s, and he recently lost his girlfriend, Olivia Chambers, 6 months prior. He's very depressed. He's very lost in life. He's pretty much given up. So one day, he decides he will kill himself because he wants to see his girlfriend again. So he jumps off his balcony in an attempt to kill himself. But as he is falling, he is actually rescued by his guardian angel, his Guardin, who is Olivia. And she tells him that after rescuing him, she tells him that, she wasn't supposed to save him, and now she's in danger. So the story kind of escalates from there, and it deals with demons. There's this other man who loved Olivia, who is also dead, and now he's kind of trying to get back at Reese. His name's Max, and he's essentially trying to get revenge on Reese, who isn't supposed to be alive. He was supposed to die via suicide, like Reese was planning to, but Olivia intervened, and now Max is upset about that. So now he is essentially trying to find ways to kill Reese and send him to hell. So essentially Reese, who is immortal, a man, up against Max. His name's Max Dancing, who is essentially a fallen Guardin. Now, I could sit here for an hour discussing, Guardin and fallen Guardin and the whole mythology behind it and the story in general, but I would be here for a long time. Maybe I'll read the synopsis on the back of the book to kind of give you a better idea. She saved the only man she ever loved. Now she has to pay. Reese Featherway is a troubled young man who recently lost his loving girlfriend, Olivia, 6 months prior. Deep in his depression and guilt over her death, he one night decides to end it all. He jumps off his balcony to kill himself so he can be with her again in death. But as he has fallen, he is rescued by his guardian angel, Guardin, Olivia, who is now in severe danger for saving his life and risks eternal damnation. In an enchanting and heartbreaking story, 2 passionate souls ripped apart by death are now brought back together to possibly make the ultimate sacrifice. It's a sacrifice for their love against the evil that wishes to tear them apart. The evil being Olivia's ex-boyfriend, Max, who's trying to tear them apart, essentially. It's a love story. again, when I say love story, it is YA, young adult, new adult. People want to make the comparison to maybe, Twilight, what have you. This is much darker than that. It's definitely much more heavy-handed. It's not for the faint of heart. It deals with, what happens after we die, what happens if you are an atheist and you don't believe in God, what happens when you die, and all of that. It's very interesting. It's very short, it's not very long. So there's that. And then there is the sequel, A Broken Guardin, which I feel like is a lot better and stronger than the first one. The first one's good, but I feel like the second one is better. I won't go into detail about the sequel. You can kind of look it up on your own if you're interested in the first one and you're done that one. You can, venture into the second one. Again, this one isn't very long. It's essentially the same length as the first one. These aren't long books. This one is a bit longer. So yeah, there's Fallen Guardin, Broken Guardin, and the third one is called War Guardin, which I am so excited to write. I started writing it. I wrote maybe the first chapter. It's a war novel, essentially, the war in heaven, and I am so pumped to write it. I am so excited. I can't really bring myself to write it just yet. I have to take some time off. I finished writing Broken Guardin last year, 2017. It was very emotionally draining to write. I went to quite a few dark places when writing this book. I was in a very complex place in my life. And after writing this book, I just needed some time off from writing it. It was very heavy-handed for me. Which is, it's okay to say that because it is about death, it's about angels, it's about demons, but it's a lot more than that. It's about love, it's about heartache. So yeah, that's essentially what these two books are about. They're available on Amazon under my pen name, Jesse Roman, if you're interested. So yeah, those are my books. Again, I have the first series, A World Divided, the second series, Fallen Guardin. I finished writing my fifth book. It's a different trilogy. It's an erotic novel. It's very explicit. I won't tell you what it's called or anything. Maybe I'll do a separate video down the line, maybe later on. And I actually failed to mention to you guys that these books right here are part of a shared literary universe. These two combined with my other two books, A World Divided, are part of a 14-book shared literary universe. A World Divided is 8 books. This is a trilogy, the Fallen Guardin trilogy. And then there's a third trilogy called The Miracle Mile. So when all combined, all 14 books kind of share the same universe and are all kind of connected together. So those are the 14, and then I was just discussing the erotic novel I wrote, which doesn't have anything to do with the shared universe. So I have lots going on. There's lots of books I want to write, lots of ideas, so many ideas. I typically write one book a year. I typically start late summer, midsummer, and then go on. It takes about 6 months, so then I finish roughly in February. So about 6 months. So I guess I'll show you quickly the other two books I wrote in case you didn't see my prior video. A World Divided, Blazing City, and Frostbite Village. Again, all these books are YA, they're young adult, new adult, 18 plus, mid-20s, teenage, mid-teenagehood, male, female, romance, there's fantasy, there's action, there's dark humor, there's all of that. So yeah, these are the 4 books. I do have a trailer for Fallen Guardin. I don't have a trailer for Broken Guardin, unfortunately. I do have a book trailer for Fallen Guardin, which I will put at the end of this video. So yeah, those are my books. Hope you enjoyed this little snippet, these 2-part videos, kind of me discussing something that I'm very passionate about, something that is very close to my heart. And I know there are a lot of writers out there, aspiring writers, whether it be, you write for a newspaper, you're taking a class, a creative writing class, maybe you are a published author, maybe you're self-published. Like I said in my other video, maybe you just write a diary every evening. Regardless of what you do, you know, if you put pen to paper, your fingertips to a keyboard, you are a writer. So keep going at it. And who knows, one day maybe you will see your books in print, maybe in a bookstore one day, which I hope to see one day. Yeah, so thank you for watching. And here is the book trailer for the first book in the Angel trilogy of Fallen Guardin. Enjoy.